Manchester United 2, Sheffield 1. All Sheffield 1, Man United 2. What a way to obviously kickstart off the international break. You know, some people really felt like this was going to be a simple game, and I told them it's not gonna be. And with my prediction, it was a 2-0 win against Sheffield, but we obviously went ahead to concede one through a penalty, and we found ourselves in a position of really getting to 15 points. And it's really great to see it that we went ahead and obviously did the job. Ten Hag, before we went into this game, he did about the game of Tottenham Hotspur, game of Man City, and the recent games that Sheffield have gone ahead to be playing as they try to improve and obviously become a better team. People said we are struggling, but Man City fought themselves off to see to it that they obviously clinch a win at Etihad. So it's really a tricky side, but there are huge positives in that game. I saw to it that we created chances that obviously gave us some edge over them. Total control of the second half. That's why I saw to it that they are not threatening at all in the second half, because we had total control of that beautiful game of football. Welcome to United Matters channel. It's a Sunday. Christians are at the church and some are praying from home, and we thank God for obviously granting everyone the gift of life, and the Muslims, Barak Lau Fikum. Now, let's obviously take it on to where we deserve it to be, and let's talk about the player ratings. Onana. Yesterday, he did everything right. The ball distribution was really on point. The saves were really on point. And there is a save he made, was it in the second half or first half, that he has failed to do on several occasions, especially if I do remember the goal of Crystal Palace that saw us concede, you know. Was it Crystal Palace? No, Brentford. The goal he considered against Brentford. I think he's getting to really master his craft when it comes to keeping that goal clean and not seeing to it that things go not his way. So yesterday, if you hear anyone coming out and complaining about Onana, then he's just biased about Onana. So it looks like he's coming good, and we're going to wait and see in the next two games against Copenhagen and Man City at Old Trafford. So I'm giving Onana a 6.5 out of 10 for me. He really put up a show and helped us obviously get to where we deserve to be as a team of Manchester United. Then after that, we go to Diego Dalot. Guys, this is the reason as why I tell you that you need a flexible right back, because when you look at the position where Dalot comes in and inverts to obviously score that goal, it's really not his position. And secondly, it's not like it was a corner. It wasn't a corner. It was a gaming floor, and he surged into the final third. Around the D of Sheffield, he receives a ball coming in from Lindelof and really curls it to the back of the net to make it 2-1 for Manchester United, because all that we had gone ahead to do had failed, you know. But Diego Dalot scored that one goal, and that's why you need a surging fullback. And that's why I really want to see it that Sergio Roglan comes back to play into this beautiful game of football of Copenhagen and Man City, because you need a player like him to obviously balance up those sides. So I really believe that Dalot is coming good, and he saw to it that defensively he was really right every time. He was there to defend his back post very well. And there is a time they directed the shot to Onana, and Onana really put it off, and it was going into the vicinity of the opponent, but Dalot was there. So Dalot defended very well, and offensively he was really great. Even the first goal that we score, he's the one who obviously puts in a cross. The goalkeeper tries to obviously tip it into the corner. He fails. Then it finds Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford plays into Lindelof. Lindelof passes into Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes really lift flicks that ball to the chest of Scott McTominay, and Scott McTominay went ahead to capitalize onto that and hit it into the back of the net. So it shows you that it was really very pivotal, and I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. That is Diego Dalot on the day. Left back, Lindelof is going to get a 7. Do you know he's getting a 7? Solid at the back, and he was involved in the 2 goals. He finds that pass for Bruno Fernandes before he creates a chance for the first goal, and is responsible for the pass to Diego Dalot into the second half. So I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. That is Victor Lindelof. Central defense, Harry Maguire. I've seen people voting him as the man of the match, and I don't think that he outdid Diego Dalot. That is it. Harry Maguire never had a very bad game, but I cannot even give him a 7. That is it. I'm going to give him a 6.5, 6.5 for me. But I really need to rewatch that game close to 3-4 times to look out for the X factor or the outstanding thing that Harry Maguire did that he deserves to be given the man of the match. That is it. So I'm waiting to see how that is really going to happen, and I need to watch that. But I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10. He blocked a very good shot with his chest at the beginning of the game. I think you remember that. And he had some brilliant display on the field of play. Though there is a time he tried to obviously overlap and obviously make a sprinting dribble into the final third of the opponent using the right half space, and he lost the ball. I was asking myself, what is Harry Maguire doing? What is running in his head? But I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10. Evans, a 6 out of 10 for me. He really walked off the field of play when he's really injured, and we don't know exactly how the extent of the injury is for this man. That is none other than John Evans. Then let's talk about this other guy, Sofyan Amrabat. Sofyan Amrabat. Guys, he's a player that you'll all want to see play for the club of Man United. He puts his body on the line, he tracks back very well, forward passes, those switch of plays that were really surprising to Anthony, though Anthony couldn't really get something positive out of them. But this guy is really good. The guy is good and is obviously going to obviously take us to the level we deserve to be as a club of Manchester United. That is Sofyan Amrabat for you. Then he also had a shot rattling off the frame of the goal, and he was really solid in that midfield. And I really believe that now, after Casemiro getting that rest, if at all they happen to play together in that double pivot, the rest is going to be history. That is it. So Sofyan Amrabat, 7.5 out of 10 for me. He really ran the show, especially in the second half, because the first half, it looks like we are not getting the chemistry very well, and the team looked disjointed in attack. That is it. So Sofyan Amrabat is getting my 7.5 out of 10. Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 today. He wasn't too wasteful, by the way. According to how wasteful has always been, he wasn't too wasteful. He really concentrated and really played very well. And I think it's because the manager went ahead to play him in the double pivot alongside Sofyan Amrabat. But I think that's what made him great and really not make those stupid Hollywood passes that he always makes. But he really had a very good game, and I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. That is Bruno Fernandes. And he had some shots that were not obviously on target, but he obviously put up a show. That is Bruno Fernandes for you, leading that team as the captain. We go to Scott McTominay. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 because he scores that first goal, and he has shown us that when he reaches those positions, he can obviously score those goals. Those are 3 in 2. That is for Scott McTominay, meaning that you just have to go ahead and obviously give him the hails he deserves as a player of Man United, because the most important bit of it all, when you're playing a team like Sheffield that is really fighting for its life at their stadium, is not to allow them to score fast. They score fast, it turns into a hard game. But Scott McTominay gets us that goal, puts us ahead, though he was unlucky with that handball and a penalty, really crossed out our lead into a level up. But all in all, That was important, because if at all he had gone ahead to concede that penalty without us being ahead, it would have gone ahead to really act as a calamity. Looking 2 goals past the team that's going to sit back, you know. So it's really great, and we are really having a good time with Scott McTominay. I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. Anthony, 6 out of 10. Very wasteful. His decision making is totally poor. He delays the flow of the game when the likes of Diego Dalot have gone ahead to really overlap. He doesn't want to include them into play. Very much negative passes. That is Anthony for you. And we just need to find ourselves in a better position that he really gets to where we deserve him to be. But he's really lacking. Every time he reaches the 18 box area, doesn't look at its age. He only goes ahead to obviously go in for curling shot. I saw one attempt that he obviously did and passed into Bruno, and Bruno released Marcus Rashford, and Marcus Rashford missed it by an inch. You know, that is one of the attempts I really saw by this guy, but that doesn't really give him a reason to really exceed a 6. He was average on the night. I want to take this opportunity and say this. If at all you believe that he had something special in him, I don't know what game of football you're really watching, but I really believe that he lacked a lot into that game of Manchester United as we took on Sheffield. And I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. That is Anthony. We go to Marcus Rashford. He gave Rasmus Højlund 3 chances, 2 of which were really intended, and the other one was not intended. You get? But all in all, you have to give him the respect he deserves as a player. I think he's obviously coming good and doing exactly what he has to be doing into his position, and he just needs to calm down, and that goal will come. That is it. That goal will come. But my problem is the way he obviously delays our play. That's it for me. He really delays our play a lot, and that is really uncalled for. And I really anticipate that the manager needs to sit him down and talk to him to really understand that assists are as the same as goals. That's what he needs to know, that assists are the same as goals. So he just needs to obviously do his work and do his job very well. Then he leaves the rest to the people that are really great, because no one is obviously going to come in through and really force a goal to go through. When your time comes, it will come. He should remember that it has always been him suffering, and when he came out from the World Cup, he obviously hit the ground running, meaning that time is still there for him to obviously exonerate himself and obviously become a better player. That is for Marcus Rashford. So I'm giving Marcus Rashford a 6.5 out of 10 for me. That's what I'm giving Marcus Rashford as a player for Manchester United. Then we go to the other player, Rasmus Højlund. 3 chances. That's what I've always gone ahead to call in for my midfielders of Man United. Give him the chances he deserves, and he shouldn't blame anyone for his not scoring. Yesterday he had 3 chances and he blowed them up. So that's what I want. I want us to create chances for our number 9 such that if he doesn't score, we are not the ones to blame. He's the one to blame. That is it. And he's the one to blame, and he's the orchestrator of his non-scoring into that game. But chances were there. I had predicted they're going to go his first United game, his United goal, but it never really came to pass. But I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. We go to the substitutes. Garnacho, 7 out of 10 for me. He shows you the difference in between him and Marcus Rashford. That is Alejandro Garnacho. Then, and you see how we really improve our attack every time Garnacho comes in through. And I still keep my word and lean on it. Garnacho will displace Marcus Rashford in the team. That is it. All he needs is that when Ten Hag gives him a chance to start, he obviously performs well as he comes off the bench. That is it. And you saw to it that he was a thorn in the skin of our opponents that we played yesterday, that is Sheffield, and he really played very well. 6.5 out of 10 Is it 6? I'm giving him a 7 by the way because he did very well. Anton Martial, 6.5 out of 10. He obviously showed us a little bit different of himself and what he brings, on the field of play. Though you are happy that he was around, such that Rasmus Højlund was wasting chances, Anton Martial came in through, and I think had some 1-2 chances to obviously kill off, but not clinical or not as open as those of Rasmus Højlund. Then Varane came on, 6.5 out of 10. What a day to get some minutes in his legs, to see to it that he obviously gets ready for that game of Copenhagen, where we need the experience in the Champions League and the 3 points at the same time at that stadium, that is Old Trafford. 6.5 out of 10 for me. Then Eriksen, I'm getting him a 7 out of 10 because he really came in through and gave us a different composure altogether that most of the people really were not getting, especially at the time when we needed it. We needed a little bit of control in that midfield, and obviously the manager went ahead to obviously do the needful and bring on Eriksen, and Eriksen obviously gave us that control as a team of Manchester United. Mason Mount played like 6-7 minutes, and I think that leaves him in a situation to start in the game of Copenhagen, as Champions League experience is needed to see to it that we kill off this game imminently at Old Trafford. Erik Ten Hag, 6.5 out of 10. He made the changes, but my problem is him playing Scott McTominay ahead of Bruno Fernandes and Bruno Fernandes and Amrabat, and keeping Rashford on the field of play for all that time, because he deserved to be taken off, and Garnacho had to play that side. At least we had some other players that could feature very well onto the right attacking side of the midfield. So my man of the match is none other than Diego Dalot, and obviously I believe you also agree with me. Let me see your comments into the comment section and see what your thoughts are about Diego Dalot coming in through and being my man of the match. Who is your man of the match? Rokan David remains my name. I thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum. I'm out.